It's here. It's here. Now is the time. Now is the time to predict the AFCON 21 quarterfinals. It is the time. I've made up my mind. I've decided the 4 teams from each side of the bracket that would go on. Well, the 2 teams from each side of the brackets that would go on to the semis. I've made my mind up. I know I'm about to share it with you. What I want you to do is do the same in the comment section down below. Share your predictions with me. Would 100% appreciate that. Guys, today's stream is brought to you by the lovely folks over at manscaped.com, who are the best in men's grooming. They do specialize in below the waist grooming as well, where you could check out the performance package 4.0 that comes with a lawnmower 4.0. That is the best tool in the world for your family jewels. Guaranteed. Guys, use the coupon code Dominic Rich to get yourself 20% off plus free shipping. Links will be in the description box down below. Trust me, your balls would thank you. So without further ado, let's talk Total Energies African Cup of Nations quarterfinals predictions. Let's do this. Let us go. So I have the bracket right there. You could see the round of 16. That's already done and dusted. We know the teams in the quarterfinals, and let's predict who will make it to the semis. I will not attempt to predict who's going to make it to the final, because the last time I did that, I predicted Nigeria to go all the way and to win the thing. We know what Nigeria are doing right now. They're in Nigeria or elsewhere, back at their clubs. So we're going to start with the right side of the bracket. We're going to start with Burkina Faso versus Tunisia. The Stallions versus the Eagles of Carthage here. Tunisia, I didn't predict to make it. Burkina Faso, I didn't predict to make it. And yet, both meeting in the quarterfinal. Burkina Faso have looked good throughout the tournament. They would be, definitely fancying their chances, seeing that when they have met Tunisia at the African Cup of Nations back in 1998 and 2017, in the quarterfinal of those tournaments, they dismissed them, and we'll be looking to do the same once again. They have looked good, and I've always talked about how dangerous this team could be, and I think they're going to be a very formidable opponent for Tunisia in this game. Look, I'm not going to go super long, but for Tunisia, they have been heavily depleted throughout the tournament, and I don't understand. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how they made it to the quarterfinals, but it's because of their grit, their determination, and their stellar work in defense why they are in the quarterfinals right now. So they should have Munda Kabaya back in the touchline and should have most of their players ready to go again after bouts with COVID-19, and should have a full-strength team to face Burkina Faso. But look, this one is a tough one to predict, but I came up with the prediction, even though on head-to-head, Burkina Faso has 3 wins, only have lost once against Tunisia, and drawn twice. Never lost. Well, they met in the AFCON quarterfinals, didn't lose the games. I think Tunisia are going to get their revenge here. From what I've seen against Nigeria, even though I didn't predict Tunisia to win that game, I cannot write off Tunisia against Burkina Faso. I think they just have more of a better game plan and more of a more calmness to them. To, for example, if they do score a goal early on in the game, to just see it out. Whereas Burkina Faso, if they do manage to do that, I have a feeling they'll just keep playing the way they play and try to get more, and then it will actually be their downfall ultimately. So on the right side of the bracket, guys, I'm going to go for Tunisia to get the better of Burkina Faso and make it to the semifinals. Yeah, Tunisia. They did make it to the semifinal last time around, I think, and I think they did. But we're not going to get into that. I'm not going to confuse myself here. But Tunisia, another team to actually sleep on whatsoever. You can't sleep on Tunisia. Definitely can't sleep on them. I do say that Tunisia are the biggest sleeper team in world football, or even let's narrow it down to African football, where I mean you take them lightly and they come up and sucker punch you. So they did indeed make it to the semifinals where they came fourth in 2019. So I'm going to predict them to make it once again. So Tunisia, look, even though I haven't been predicting, good things for you in terms of the AFCON and the World Cup qualifiers, where I didn't even predict them to make the cut, they might just do it, man. They might just do it. They might just prove me wrong. So we're going to stay on that side of the bracket and we're going to move on to Senegal versus Equatorial Guinea. What Equatorial Guinea pulled off against Mali is nothing short of astonishing. But if you check the history of Equatorial Guinea at the AFCON, they have made it to the quarterfinals and to the semifinals where they came fourth in tournaments that they've hosted. This is the first one that they've qualified to without having to host it. I think this is their third AFCON indeed. And they managed to make it to the quarters again. They just love the AFCON. Listen, it's amazing. It is amazing how a team who aren't historically very good, whenever they play at the AFCON, they just turn into gold dust, man. They come up against Senegal after a very spirited performance there against Mali. A game that went to 120 minutes. It went all the way. And even going back to the Burkina Faso Tunisia match, Tunisia will be the fresher of the two teams, even though they've had time to rest. For Equatorial Guinea versus Senegal, Senegal won within 90 minutes. Equatorial Guinea was pushed all the way, and you could see the tiredness of the team. But I think on the occasion, that tiredness may disappear. You may feel it after the game, but during the game, they might just, have the adrenaline pumping at least for the first 45 minutes. Senegal cannot take Equatorial Guinea lightly. Let me say this one time. All of my predictions are not going to be correct. I do not expect them to be correct. There will be some shock results. There will be a few shock results in the quarterfinals like we've seen throughout the tournament. But I won't be going for a shock result here because Senegal, as a lot of us have been noticing, they could shithouse themselves throughout the tournament and go all the way to the final and win it. They haven't been playing at their best. Mane picked up a knock in the last game there against Cape Verde, where Senegal, they were in like second gear. They've been in second gear throughout the tournament. This team was heavily depleted throughout the tournament because of coronavirus. They haven't been able to prepare properly as a team, but the full team is back together again as of now. So Mane is a doubt, but I don't think he'll miss the game. There's been a few days in between the game between Cape Verde and the quarterfinals, so I think he'll have enough days to actually rest. I think that was a concussion he had. He couldn't continue after scoring that goal, but he should at least be involved off the bench against Equatorial Guinea. I think they need Sadio Mane. Without Sadio Mane, Senegal might actually lose the game against Equatorial Guinea. Let's put it that way. But Senegal haven't conceded a goal at the tournament yet, and it's going to be very, very difficult to beat them. Senegal to win the game within 90 against Equatorial Guinea. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. 2-0 win. 2 goals to nil. 2 goals to nil. The Burkina Faso Tunisia game, that one could go all the way to extra time and penalties, but the Senegal game, within 90 minutes, I'm predicting that one to finish. So that would set up a Tunisia versus Senegal semi-final. Tunisia versus Senegal semi-final is my prediction here. Okay? And that is the exact semi-final we had back in 2019. Okay? So we're going to have it again. Definitely going to have it again. Where Senegal won 1-0 after extra time, courtesy of a Dylan Braun own goal. Song's solid, right? The song's very, very solid. I know. So, look. We move on to the left side of the bracket. Big one. Big one. Gambia versus Cameroon. Debutants Gambia have been amazing so far at the tournament. Amazing. One of the most impressive teams behind a Cameroon, a Senegal to a lesser extent, and a Morocco. Teams like Egypt have really caught on as the tournament trickled on, and Burkina Faso have been solid. Tunisia have been getting better. Equatorial Guinea have been solid. But Gambia are the team that has really lit up the tournament, in my opinion. You got to give it to Gambia. You got to give it to the Scorpions. Or they're going to sting the indomitable Lions on that day. That game is coming up tomorrow, 29th of January. Are they going to be able to sting? Let me repeat. Are they going to sting the indomitable Lions? It's going to be tough. Cameroon are hosting the tournament. Head to head, Cameroon 2, Gambia 0. So Gambia has never beaten Cameroon in their 2 tries. They met in the AFCON qualifiers back in 2015 and 2016, where Carl Toko Ikambi scored, and we had Vincent Abubakar, who is a tournament leading goal scorer. He scored as well. It's going to take a big effort to beat the hosts. Gambia have been playing a lot without the ball, especially when they meet superior opponents. In the game against Guinea, it was a bit 50-50 in terms of the possession, but it was Moussa Barrow, the talismanic forward from Bologna, that has been their best player. Abli Jallo has been very good as well. And you think Omar Colley in the defense. The team has, all over the field, they have been quality, in my opinion. Not going to get into the names. I don't want to confuse myself. Modou Barrow comes to mind as well. He's been involved a lot more lately. But then they shouldn't be taken lightly. I think if we're going to see an upset in the quarterfinals, it's going to be this game where Gambia stand a very good chance of beating Cameroon. Defensively, they're very good. And Cameroon, in front of goal, they have been very so-so. They create a lot of opportunities, but just the finishing has, been questionable. I know. Abubakar has 6 goals. Carl Toko Ikambi has about 3. But still, with the opportunities that they have created, they have missed a lot. They cannot take Gambia lightly. They have to take their chances, because one thing we know, Gambia do like to shoot from distance, and whenever they do get their chances, they're gonna score. Dango with a really good not Dango, Barber in that last game. I think I'm mixing up Dango, who plays for another team, but Dango plays for Ivory Coast. Barber with that pass for Moussa Barrow in the last game. Oh my God. You got to look out. You definitely got to look out for Gambia on the counterattacks. Abli Jallo packs a punch, and Moussa Barrow are the danger men. You keep those players quiet, and you definitely, I think you'll be able to handle Gambia. But look, if we learn anything from what happened in the Guinea game, they're a very, very difficult team to play. Very, very difficult team to play, man. So, nevertheless, I do have the host Cameroon moving on. I cannot predict against Cameroon in this one. I would actually love to see Gambia win the game, but it will take a whole lot of balls for me to predict a Gambia win. Gambia, prove me wrong. Seriously, prove me wrong. Sting the indomitable Lions, knock him out, and continue to write a brilliant fairy tale story. Is the quarterfinals going to be the end of the road for the dark horses in Equatorial Guinea and Gambia? Burkina Faso, who are horses themselves, stallions? Look, I think so. Cameroon to defeat Gambia. And I'm going to go for 2-1. I'm going to say after extra time, 1-1 after 90, 2-1 after extra time. Gambia to push Cameroon all the way. But I think in the end, they would just run out of gas. So Gambia to lose to Cameroon. Cameroon to move into the semis. And we have the big one. The final one. Egypt versus Morocco in the North African Derby. Guys, in terms of the head-to-head, Egypt do not fare very well against neighboring country Morocco. 3 wins for Egypt. 3, guys. 3. Okay? As they'll say in the Caribbean, 3 wins. 14 losses and 12 draws. They have met a lot of times. A lot of times. They met at the 2017 African Cup of Nations quarterfinals. Egypt did defeat Morocco 1-0 in one of those 3 wins that they picked up over the Atlas Lions. So the Pharaohs versus the Atlas Lions here. Last time they met at the AFCON, they won the game. In 2006, Group A, the game ended in a draw. So the last 2 times Egypt met Morocco at the AFCON, they did not lose. Okay? They didn't lose. That's good. That is a very, very good stat. Very, very, very good stat there. So, look. Look here. Egypt, not overly convincing in the group stages, but they have gotten better as the tournament gone by. To defeat Ivory Coast was it required a big effort, and they prevailed on penalties 5-4. Morocco will be the fresher of the 2 teams where they got the better of Malawi, having to come from behind, won the game 2-1. Morocco looks the better of the 2 teams here, in my opinion. But you cannot take Egypt lightly with the most solid threat. Marmoush, Mustafa Mohamed, these guys. Trezeguet look sharp. Hegazi at the back look very, very assured. Question is, Shenari might not feature in goal. And the backup goalkeeper may actually have to be involved again. And we know how good he was against the Ivory Coast. Very, very good. And he was the hero. He was indeed the hero. Gabaski was the hero. So even if they have Gabaski or Shenari in goal, I think they'll be covered at the back there. Egypt are going to be a very, very difficult team. But Morocco, I think, they have more danger men, in my opinion, than Egypt has. Egypt got the Salah effect. And if you mark Salah out of the game like the Ivorians did, you'll enjoy the match against Egypt. But if you don't manage to do that, then you're in trouble. But for Morocco, there's a lot of weapons, man. A lot of weapons across the, all around the field. Yusuf Enazari, El Kabi, Sofiane Boufal, Sofiane Amrabat, Imran Louza. Ashraf Hakimi is the man. And the backline with Agued and Saiz have been very assured. And Bono, we know how good he can be. It took a brilliant strike from Gabadino Mango to beat him in that game against Malawi. But Hakimi is the man. Hakimi is the man. It's going to be hard to keep him quiet and watch Yusuf Enazari and El Kabi and co at the same time. And their bench do have that firepower as well. So I do fancy Morocco in this. I've been predicting against Egypt so far. I didn't predict them to defeat the Ivory Coast in the round of 16, but they did. But this time around, I'm going to continue to bet against Egypt again. I'm going for Morocco to win the game. This one definitely could go all the way. It's hard to come up with a prediction here, but I think Morocco are actually going to win this one. So I'm going to go for Morocco to defeat Egypt, Cameroon to defeat Gambia, Morocco, Cameroon in the semis, Tunisia, Senegal on the other side. And it could go any way, guys. It could go any way. This tournament has been very unpredictable so far, and I won't put my money on any of these, seriously. And I advise you not to. Seriously, I'm not a betting man. But if you are if you're a betting man, bet carefully. Bet very carefully. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a very unpredictable tournament so far. Guys, let me know who you think would go on to the semifinals from those quarterfinals matchups. Let me know who you think will win the tournament altogether. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Road to 50K is in full effect. Guys, head on over to manscaped.com, who are sponsoring this channel, and use the coupon code Dominic Rich to get yourself 20% off. Free shipping. Links in the description box down below. Check out the site. Tell them Dominic sent you. Trust me, your balls will thank you. So this is my Total Energies AFCON 2021 quarterfinals prediction. Let me know yours in the comments. And until next time, may the best teams win. Peace out. Rich Squad. Peace.